Hello, beloved, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Celestial Oracle Codes. This message is for someone who's been asking, was all this work worth it? So we've got our spread out here. I pulled 4 clarifier cards from the bottom of the deck to let us see what's either hidden or not being acknowledged by us as a collective at this time. The world comes out to let us know that some completions aren't being acknowledged, some achievements aren't being acknowledged, and some milestones that we've arrived at are not being acknowledged. Also, with justice coming out, there is a karmic reward that's not being acknowledged, and something that is coming in to balance things out and also create a new abundance in your life. So this is more than you've ever been tied to. That's what I'm hearing. It's more than you've ever made before. And also, what this is harbinging is the fact that it's tied to a turn of unseen events. So there's something that looks like it is chaos or even unstable or escalating, and it's actually turning out to be your benefit, fulfillment, or a blessing in disguise for you. So that is this temperance energy where patience is also coming in to pay off. And this is also about trusting in divine timing, trusting in your healing, and trusting in, the results that are about to come from all the work that you've put in. So this may arrive in a message, an offer, or a new opportunity, or just the first tangible sign that things are finally shifting and moving forward in some way that may leave you feeling as though it was a blessing in disguise. So this is also about being serious about what you truly desire and seeing the ways that that can come to you, and if things shifting in your life are moving you toward whatever that is for you now. So there's a powerful, powerful energy that is coming through in this reading. I keep hearing, was all the work worth it? Was all the patience worth it? Was all the discipline worth it? Was all the healing worth it? Was all the restraint worth it? Was all the waiting, praying, learning, giving, starting over, and holding yourself together worth it? And the answer coming through this reading is very clear. Yes, your effort is about to pay off. And not in some vague, distant, one day, maybe kind of way. This feels like the beginning of visible results. This feels like the moment where the seeds that were buried finally start breaking through the soil. With this Ace of Pentacles energy coming out with the 7 of Wands energy, but also the patience and protection of the 9 of Wands and the victory and acknowledgement and achievement of the 6 of Wands. So there's definitely movement that is in your favor at this point in time. Let me keep these in order. At this point in time. And so something is definitely shifting in your reality. That's what that means. And however that shifts or whatever culminates, Spirit is asking you to kind of flow effortlessly with it right now, right? Wherever the cards are landing, however the desk is falling, however it's going right now, you just kind of flow with it, and then where you end up is going to leave you somewhere more fulfilled. Okay, whether that's where you are and in a higher light or truth and security, right? Stability and, functional support and nurturing environment. Or it could be you relocating and finding that kind of environment. Or it can just be you creating that sort of environment on the inside, right? You can always be your oasis in the desert. That's also what I'm hearing. This feels like something that was hidden, but it is definitely coming to the light, right? So it feels like something that was delayed, protected, or developing behind the scenes. It's now beginning to show up in the physical world. Because this is part 4 of 5. And in this part of the story, we move into reward energy. So this is reward energy. The way that the cards have fallen today in this spread obviously equals rewards. All of the clarifier cards that come up to let us know that we're not acknowledging the things that will help us see rewards that are coming in, right? Acknowledge the messages, acknowledge the opportunities, acknowledge divine timing, acknowledge how things are shifting in your life to propel you forward in your destiny. and ultimately the completion of whatever cycle that was blocking you from it. So that's what these clarifier cards are saying. And that's a powerful, way to start your reading, just in clarity. So the alignment is no longer just happening behind the scenes. The door is no longer just closed. Now the harvest begins. So if you've been tired, if you've been wondering whether you wasted your time, if you've been questioning whether the effort, the healing, the discipline, the faith, the consistency, or the sacrifice actually mattered, this reading is your confirmation. It mattered, it counted, it was seen, and now it is beginning to produce results. As always, take this message only as it resonates with your spirit and your real life situation. This is a collective spiritual reading, so not every detail will belong to every person. Use your discernment. Do not force a message to fit where it does not bring peace, clarity, confirmation, or empowerment. And remember, no reading replaces your own wisdom, your own relationship with the Most High, your own intuition, or your own grounded decision making. This message is here to confirm, uplift, guide, and bring clarity. And you're always sovereign. Remember that. So you're always responsible for choosing what aligns with your highest good. Now, because this is part 4, let's understand where we are in the energy. Part 1 was about hidden movement. Something was aligning behind the scenes. Before you could see it, something was being rearranged, prepared, shifted, or moved out of the way. And part 2 was about the energy starting to approach the physical world. You may have started feeling signs, synchronicities, emotional shifts, intuitive nudges. I'm hearing unexpected confirmations of any type. A lot of dragonflies, butterflies, ladybugs, and eagles, I'm hearing. So, and crows can also be, those can be signs for somebody, confirmation for someone as well. Part 3 was about the opportunity being much closer than you thought, however. And that was the point where the door was not far away anymore. So the energy was saying, don't assume nothing is happening just because you can't see the full result yet. Now part 4 is different. Part 4 says you're about to see why you had to keep going. This is the harvest point. This is when you realize, oh, that's why I had to be patient. Or, oh, that's why I could not quit. Or, oh, that's why the door closed. Or, oh, that's why I had to mature. Or, oh, that's why I had to keep choosing myself. Or, oh, that's why the blessing didn't come in the old version of my life. This is where effort begins becoming evidence. So this is where faith begins becoming form. And this is also where certain shifts or changes or occurrences or even conflicts in our life can rearrange our life in a way that's more fulfilling for us and ultimately leads us into our deeper fulfillment and higher destiny. So this is where prayer begins becoming movement, and this is where the invisible starts becoming visible. This message may be for you if you have recently been feeling like you're right at the edge of something, but you're also tired. You may feel like you've done the work, but you've not yet seen the full reward. You may have been showing up consistently even when you did not feel motivated. You may have been healing privately. You may have been breaking patterns that nobody else even knows you were fighting. You may have been choosing peace instead of chaos. You may have been choosing self-respect instead of begging. You may have been choosing discipline instead of distraction. And you may have been choosing faith instead of fear. And yet a part of you may still be asking, when does this finally pay off, right? This reading is saying sooner than you think. For some of you, the confirmation may already be showing up in small ways. Maybe someone's tone towards you changed. Maybe an opportunity resurfaced. Maybe you suddenly felt lighter. Maybe you received a message, invitation, idea, dream, sign, or confirmation. It can be one or any or all of these things. And maybe you started feeling pulled in a new direction. Maybe something that was once blocked is suddenly moving. And maybe you no longer feel blocked to move on with your life. Maybe your body, spirit, or intuition is telling you something is different now. And you may not be wrong. Because this energy, let me tell you, this energy, it feels different. Something is different now. Definitely. It feels like the first green sprout after a long season of buried growth, right? after the long winter or something. Like that's what's coming to me. So like, let's just look at what these cards really mean. Seven of Pentacles means I put in effort and then I gave it patience. I watched my seeds grow, and now the harvest, I'm harvesting, but at the end of the day, I'm also assessing the harvest, right? So this is like a harvest assessment right here. And that Nine of Wands is not giving up after exhaustion. Ultimately, that's what it is, right? Beat, battered, bruised, and still you will hold your ground and protect yourself. Okay? You're not giving up after the exhaustion. The Ace of Pentacles lets us know a new opportunity is right around the corner or already in your lap, basically. New money, new stability, new world, real world blessings is what I'm hearing. Six of Wands shows you'll be victorious no matter what. You will get recognition. You will have public success. You will have visible results. So whoever needed to hear that, there it is. And at the end of the day, the Ten of Pentacles lets us know that long-term payoff, legacy, security, abundance is coming into your life. One that makes you feel more secure and stable and functional and just purely supported than you have ever been before. Listen to that. It leads to your fulfillment, this confirmation of joy, visibility, and success coming out in the sun. For that to end it, hands down, that's a full-on yes victory. Period. Period. And so these cards have a very powerful story to tell today. And this reading is saying whatever this is coming in sooner than you think. For some of you, it's already arriving in subtle ways. You know, maybe you suddenly felt lighter. Maybe an opportunity surfaced. Maybe someone's tone towards you changed. At the end of the day, you being pulled in a new direction is a part of this retribution coming into your life. Maybe something that was once blocked, yeah, it is. It is moving now. And you're releasing these things from your life. Sometimes the first sign is movement. A conversation, a yes, a chance, a shift, a download, a name, a place, an email, real mail, okay? A person, a feeling, a door cracking open, a burden lifting, a pattern finally breaking. And your job right now is not to panic because the whole harvest is not arrived in one day. Your job is to recognize the first sign and keep going. Any of those shifts could be the sign. So if you're starting to see movement in your life, then it's time to feel good about it, no matter what. That's the message coming through. So I always want my messages to find the right people. These last two messages are very, very important. So I'm going to give them the opening prayer and invocation. So I'm calling in the Most High, omnibenevolent, omniscient, omnikinetic, omnitemporal, omnipresent, omnisapient, heavenly creator, absolute. The Most High Creator, source of all truth, love, protection, wisdom, and divine order. Please cover this reading in clarity. Let only the messages aligned with truth, healing, peace, empowerment, and the highest good come through. As always, I pray for world peace, health, and healing, a cure for coronavirus, a cure for all cancers, a cure for all autoimmune diseases, a cure for all disease, sickness, and affliction of the mind, body, and spirit. Health and healing, wellness and well-being, harmony and peace of mind, and as always, the greatest good for all humankind. Let only the messages of the highest light be put forth and find their way to whom they were meant for. May this reading bring confirmation to the ones who are tired but still standing. May it encourage the ones who have been faithful in private. May it strengthen the ones who have been wondering if their effort was seen. And may every word that is meant to land with peace. May every message that is not for the viewer fall away. may the collective remember, nothing done from the heart, from faith, from integrity, from love, and from divine alignment is wasted. The harvest knows where to find the seed, and the seed knows when it is time to rise. Amen. And so it is. The energy I feel around this reading is very grounded but emotional. This does not feel like fantasy. This does not feel like empty hope. This feels like someone who has actually been through something either traumatizing, life shifting, internally shifting, or just something that changed them in some type of way. Someone who has had to keep showing up while tired. Someone who has had to keep believing while the results look slow. And someone who has had to keep watering a dream, a healing process, a relationship with themselves, a business, a spiritual path. I'm hearing a creative project. I'm hearing a new life direction without constant external validation. Okay. And now the energy is saying, you did not keep going for nothing. There's a strong message here about delayed results. Not denied results. Delayed results. There's a difference. A denied result means something is not for you. A delayed result means something needed time, structure, alignment, maturity, protection, or preparation to come through. And for many of you, what you wanted could not come into your life while you were still in the old environment, the old mindset, the old emotional pattern, the old self-abandonment cycle, or the old version of your identity. The blessing was not refusing you. The blessing was waiting for the version of you who could hold it. That's why this reading feels so satisfying. Because this is not just about getting something. This is about becoming someone who can finally receive what they asked for without losing themselves. So in the Seven of Pentacles, we can already see what effort is being rewarded. This feels like consistency, right? You showed up every day and built into this, one way or another, or at least consistent enough for it to make a difference in your world and in the world of others. So this feels like the quiet work, the work nobody clapped for, the work nobody saw, the work you did when you had every reason to quit. For some of you, this is emotional work. You've been learning how to stop reacting from old wounds. You've been learning how to stop overgiving. You've been learning how to stop chasing people, places, and situations that make you feel like you've been abandoned or have to abandon yourself to be chosen. You've been learning how to stop explaining your worth to people who benefited from misunderstanding you. And that is effort. That is spiritual labor. That is soul work. And for others, this is practical effort, honestly. You've been building something, a channel, a business, a skill, a body of work, a new routine, a new foundation, a new life, a new version of yourself. And even if the results have not matched the effort yet, Spirit is saying the effort has accumulated. So this shows a great accumulation of all these pentacles. You can see how he's kind of like just admiring all of this structured growth that he's built into. Whatever he's creating, the work he's put in. So this lets me know nothing was lost. Every day you kept showing up was a seed. Every boundary was a seed. Every prayer was a seed. Every moment you chose not to go backward was a seed. And every time you kept your heart open without abandoning your discernment was a seed. Every time you chose peace over proving yourself was a seed. And the message here is you're not being rewarded only for what people saw. Spirit's saying you're being rewarded for what you survived, what you learned, what you refused to repeat, and what you kept building, even when it was hard. Wow. Knight of Wands comes to let us know what feels delayed with the Seven of Pentacles. It shows that it isn't so much as you protecting what you built into you from protecting yourself, right? You don't have to, this isn't I'm protecting myself and I'm so exhausted from protecting myself. It can be. For some of you, it is, okay? There is a part of this collective that's like, I feel like I've had to fight everything in my life. And that's coming to an end. That's coming to an end, okay? Stay aligned and set your clear, healthy boundaries and enforce them, right? That keeps misaligned individuals or anything chaotic and conflicted out of your sphere and energy field. All right. So at the end of the day, we're not having to defend and be baffled by delays anymore. So this does show what felt delay, but that it was actually developing with the Seven of Pentacles next to it and the Ace of Pentacles on the right. Seven of Pentacles on the left of the Nine of Wands shows me that it was a delay that was or a postponement that was really a preparation or a development, right, over here in the Seven of Pentacles, that is leading to external evidence and results in the Ace of Pentacles, or the seed growing in reality, right? Physical, tangible results. That's what that means. And so this is important because many of you thought nothing was happening. But the energy says something was absolutely happening. It was just happening beneath the surface. This is like planting a seed and then staring at the dirt, wondering why nothing is growing. That's this energy. That's this energy. Like, look at him. He looks like he's waiting for it to change. But the energy says you never had to worry about what was happening beneath the surface. Because beneath the dirt, roots are forming, structures forming, the unseen part is growing fast and first, I'm hearing. And that is what happened here. The delay was developing your roots. For some of you, the delay developed patience. For some, it developed discernment. For some, it developed emotional maturity. For some, it developed confidence. For some, it developed your ability to walk away from what is not aligned. And for some, it developed your ability to receive without guilt. For some, it developed your ability to stop confusing chaos with chemistry. And for some, it developed your ability to stop accepting crumbs and calling it divine timing. The delay was not just about the outside situation, you guys. The delay was also about the inside container. Because if the blessing had arrived too early, the old version of you may have mishandled it. You may have doubted it. You may have sabotaged it. You may have overgiven to keep it. You may have ignored red flags. You may have undercharged, okay? You may have hidden your gifts. You may have said yes too fast. You may have let someone else define the value of what the Most High placed inside of you. But now you're different. And that is why the harvest can begin. Card 3, the Ace of Pentacles, which is the best card for the first sign of the harvest, right? This shows, and I feel this strongly, that the first sign may be small, but it will be unmistakable. It may not be the entire breakthrough at once, but it will feel like confirmation. For some of you, this could be a message. Someone reaches out, someone responds, someone confirms something, someone offers something, someone notices you, someone acknowledges your effort, someone gives you information that helps you move forward. For others, this could be an opportunity, a new offer, a new client, a new invitation, a new role, a new idea, a new place, a new collaboration, or a new opening. For others, this could be internal. You wake up and feel different. You no longer crave what once drained you. You no longer feel attached to proving something. You no longer feel desperate for the old door to open. You feel peace. And sometimes peace is the first sign that the harvest is near. Because when the nervous system stops fighting the old life, the new life has room to land. There is also a message here that the first sign of harvest may come through something you almost overlook. Absolutely. Right? Going back to our clarifier cards, where maybe we haven't noticed the completion in our lives or how we've closed down a cycle. We haven't noticed the truth and all of the occurrences that are actually happening for us and not to us. We never noticed or haven't been noticing how our patience is actually starting to produce results, and we're not even acknowledging or accepting, the new messages, the new alignment, and even some of us, this is new relationships that are coming into our life. So you're being asked to accept the aligned things now, right? Use your discernment, use your strong, healthy boundaries to create and enforce a new minimum standard for you to live from. And that will create the alignment of all of the right people, places, and things that you want to come into your life. So there is also a message here to pay attention to the small conversations. Wow, and confirmations I'm hearing. So pay attention to the conversation that seems casual but carries meaning. Pay attention to the repeated phrase. Pay attention to the person who suddenly comes to mind. Pay attention to the door that opens easily. Pay attention to what does not require you to force it. The harvest begins with ease, not because there will be no action required, but because aligned movement has a different feeling than survival movement. Aligned movement may still require effort, but it does not require you to betray yourself. Fourth card is the Six of Wands. And this is the reason, right? Why you should not give up now. With the Six of Wands coming out, I don't think there's a more powerful card that could display why you shouldn't give it up right now. Do you really want to know what this signifies in that position? It signifies you shouldn't give up because you're going to be victorious and successful no matter what. That's what that means. That's Six of Wands coming out right there. This message is very direct. You're closer than your exhaustion is telling you. Your tiredness is not a prophecy. Your frustration is not a sign that nothing is coming. And your delay is not proof that you failed, because you have already succeeded. And you're not allowing yourself to see it. You're not allowing yourself to see it. You are the prize. That's this energy. So you don't have to worry about where you go. The chips are always going to fall in your favor. Now, your frustration is not a sign that nothing is coming, okay? Your current circumstances are not the final outcome. And some of you are at the exact point where people usually quit. Right before the breakthrough, right before the confirmation, right before the right person sees it, right before they get the right career move, right before the right collaboration, right before the energy shifts, right before the offer arrives, right? Right before the lesson turns into wisdom. And right before the seed breaks through the soil. And that is why this message is coming through now. I'm hearing, because this is not the time to collapse into the old story. This is not the time to say, nothing ever works for me. I'm hearing, this always happens. I'm also hearing, I knew it was too good to be true. I'm also hearing, maybe I should just stop trying. And I heard, no one sees me. And it must not be meant for me, which I feel like is the biggest spiritual cop-out there is. So no, that is the old exhaustion talking. That is the wounded part of you trying to protect you from disappointment. But Spirit is saying, do not let temporary tiredness make a permanent decision for your future. Rest if you need to. Pause if you need to. Breathe if you need to. Recenter if you need to. But don't abandon the harvest because the final stretch required patience. This is not over. This is beginning to pay off. Just because you can't see it, release the constricted, conflicted, stressed out, anxious, overthinking, overexhausted energy. Just release it and allow things to unfold in your life and know that they're unfolding for you. They're happening for you, not to you. Even if you can't see that now, they are. So, what you're being prepared to receive, Ten of Pentacles, more foundation, more stabilities. For some of you, this is legacy wealth. This is new stability. For some of you, this comes attached with some kind of community. So it says Ten of Pentacles, but there is a deep Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Ten of Pentacles in a row like this. Means whatever this new beginning will lead to your public recognition and ultimately some kind of stability or legacy wealth, right? Generational wealth energy that leads to fulfillment and happiness and overjoyed gladness in your life. So that's what all that ends up in, right? We're not going to end it there, but ultimately that's the combo here. Six of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, the Sun, that's the combo. Right? You want to know what that sounds like in very layman terms? Well, I got recognized for a lot of things that I do, and it paid off in more ways than just financial, and led to me being happier than I ever imagined in life. Okay. So, the fifth card, which is the Ten of Pentacles, shows me that the collective is being prepared to receive. right? Ten of Pentacles will always be receiving energy. It means that something is ultimately manifesting or resulting, right? You're about to see some kind of real substance in results in your life. So something tangible is about to come into your world. That's what that means. It can be financial. It can be a body change as well, right? So let's say that you lost a lot of weight and you finally got to the weight that made you happy. Well, that might show up as Ten of Pentacles as well. Okay? So not just emotional comfort, not just spiritual confirmation, but like I said, a tangible reward. And the energy is just that. Something you can see, feel, use, experience, or build with. For some of you, this is financial improvement, right? Hands down, thumbs up. A paid opportunity, a new income stream, a better position, a client, a sale, a gift, a resource, a solution, a door that helps stabilize your life. For some of you, this is recognition. People start noticing your work. People start valuing what you bring. People start taking you seriously. And people start understanding that you're not the same person they underestimated. For some of you, this is emotional payoff. Peace returns. Confidence returns. Your light returns. Your joy returns. Your sense of direction returns, you guys. And you finally understand why something had to happen the way it did in your life. For others, this is relational payoff. A healthier connection, a sincere apology, a meaningful conversation, a new person entering your life, a clearer boundary, a release from a draining attachment, or just a relationship with yourself that feels stronger than the need to be chosen by anyone else. But the biggest message here is you're receiving proof that your effort was not invisible. The Most High was the private eye. The Most High saw the private work the entire time. That's what I'm hearing. And your guides saw the private work. Your higher self saw the private work. And now the physical world starts reflecting it back. That's what we're seeing. And your nervous system, your central nervous system in your body and your overall mentality, right? Just your energy is used to dealing with and responding to energy that was responding to the old version of you. And so now when energy starts moving or acting in a certain way, it starts to give you that same anxious, anxiety, or stressed and overwhelmed feeling, right? That makes us reactive. And so you're being asked to release that now because there's no need. Like, energy can't approach your energy anymore because your energy's not the same. That's the best way I can say it, okay? So, and it's a big part of your boundaries. So I'm hearing that. That needs to be said here, obviously. So it's a big part of your healthy boundaries that you've enforced, that now it's becoming aware that energy cannot approach you in the same way. It's not going to be met with the same results, right? And this part is important because when blessings begin arriving, old fear can also rise. Sometimes people think they are only afraid of failure, but many people are also afraid of success. And honestly, if I had to be real honest with you, I would say more people are afraid of success than failure. Think about that. More people are afraid of success than failure. And so many people realize that success requires a new identity, right? Success requires visibility. Success requires responsibility. Success requires receiving. Success requires being seen differently. Success requires no longer using the old wound as the main story. And for some of you, the old pattern is doubt. You may receive a sign and immediately talk yourself out of it. You may receive an opportunity and immediately assume there's a catch. You may receive attention and immediately shrink. You may receive support and immediately feel guilty. You may receive a blessing and immediately ask, am I worthy of this? My guidance for you is to not interrogate every blessing like it is a threat to you. Discernment is important, yes. Stay grounded, yes, please. Move wisely, absolutely. But do not confuse discernment with fear. Discernment feels calm and clear. Fear feels frantic and suspicious, right? Discernment says, let me move wisely and see what's going on here. Fear says, let me reject this before it can disappoint me. For others, the old pattern is overworking, right? We don't want to be the one who's like, well, if I just don't show up for it, then it can't not show up for me, right? You make feel like you have to earn love, earn rest, earn money, earn peace, earn support, earn safety. But this reading says you've already done a lot of the earning, now learn how to receive. Period. That does not mean stop showing up. It means stop making suffering the proof that you deserve the reward. The harvest does not need you to bleed over it. The harvest needs you to gather it. All right, my loves? So the sun comes and lets us know how to align with this payoff, right? So right off the bat, with all of this energy, right? With the Seven of Pentacles, with the Nine of Wands, in lieu of the Ace of Pentacles, Six of Wands for recognition, Ten of Pentacles for not only a reset in finances, but also excess coming into your life and foundational support and stability, plus legacy or generational wealth. So that's a lot, right? And so what that tells me is stay consistent. How do you make it to all of that? You stay consistent. But soften your grip, right? Release the need to control everything and allow things to come in for you. So you don't need to force this next part. You need to remain available to it. Keep showing up. Keep honoring your routines. Yes, keep honoring your routines. Keep taking aligned action. Keep listening to your intuition. Keep doing the practical things that support the spiritual things. But release the panic. Release the need to know every detail. Release the need to control the exact form of the blessing as well. And sometimes the payoff comes differently than expected. Sometimes it comes through a person you didn't expect. And sometimes it comes through a door you forgot about. And sometimes it comes through a delay that becomes protection. And sometimes it comes through a no that redirects you to the real yes. So stay open. The second guidance is prepare to receive before the full blessing arrives. If you're asking for opportunity, prepare your structure. If you're asking for love, prepare your boundaries. If you're asking for money, prepare your stewardship and tasking funds. And the control, I'm hearing, of the flow of your finances. Okay? If you're asking for peace, prepare to stop entertaining chaos. If you're asking for visibility, prepare your message. And if you're asking for a new life, prepare to stop identifying with the old one. Because preparation is a form of faith. You don't prepare for something you secretly believe will never happen, right? You're not preparing for the baby that you think you're never going to have. So at the end of the day, what I clean up first, right? I organize, I finish, I release. So if I was you, what would I clean up, organize, finish, release? Or strengthen, let's say that too. If I knew my effort was about to pay off. And then do that, right? So if I was you, let me say that. What would I clean up? Well, the first thing that I would make sure that I cleaned up was my energy. No energy linkages, right? So we're not allowing things to hijack our thoughts or take up rent space or take up space in our mind rent free. I'm hearing, okay? We're not doing any of that. We're not allowing people to steal our peace. We're not allowing people to cross our boundaries, and we're most certainly not allowing people to disrespect or disregard us. So when we say, hey, this isn't going to work for me, and someone disregards that and bypasses it, well, that's a crossing of the boundaries, that's a disrespect, and that's a disregard. And so this is a fundamental example of what I mean when I say that we need to be making sure that we are cleaning up, organizing, finishing, releasing, or strengthening anything, right? Strengthening our boundaries, organizing, finishing anything that no longer serves us. This includes non-beneficial thoughts and beliefs, right? Finishing and cleaning up our thought processes and our mindset, organizing our space. If we want new physical things to come in, creating physical space for them to go. Also, if we want new relationships, getting rid of relationships that are leaking our energy, right? That's siphoning away and draining our energy away. So all of these things are really important things. This is what I focus on doing when I'm trying to bring something new in my life, right? And so I definitely would advise you to do the same. Just do that. Not from fear, from readiness. And ultimately, only you can answer that question for you, right? I gave you some examples right now of what that looks like when we're breaking it down. But ultimately, this is just a beautiful time for you to ask yourself, what would I clean up, organize, finish, release, or strengthen if I knew my effort was about to pay off? So at the end of the day, this card for the final outcome not only lets me know that the perseverance will lead to a deeper fulfillment than you've ever really experienced in life, right? Final outcome here with the sun coming out after all of these cards that are obviously showing tangible results in reality. When the Ace of Pentacles comes out, this means that these are things that are going to manifest in your physical world. Physical world. Physically, you're going to be looking. Physically, you might feel exhausted. But you know, it's about to pay off. Physically, you've been patient. Physically, you just completed something. Physically, things are shifting and changing for you. And physically, a message or an opportunity is coming in that is going to leave you more fulfilled. Physically, you will be acknowledged, okay? I'm telling you right now. So at the end of the day, and awarded, successful, victorious, all of that in the physical, this effort becomes evidence. This effort becomes stability. That's what that means. This effort becomes confidence. This effort becomes a door. This effort becomes proof that you were not crazy for believing. There's a strong energy here of the collective being able to look back and say, now I understand. Now I understand why that did not work. Now I understand why I had to wait. Now I understand why I had to walk away. Now I understand why I had to build myself first. Now I understand why I could not settle. Now I understand why the Most High kept pushing me to keep going. The harvest doesn't just bring a reward. It brings understanding, peace, validation, emotional closure. It lets you stop arguing with the path. Because once the fruit appears, the seed finally makes sense. And that is the prophecy of this reading. You're about to see fruit from something you almost gave up on. That's the spoiler alert. If you're still in this reading at this time, listen to me. Put in the comments, I heard it all, or I heard the end, or I stayed until the end, or something to let me know that this message made it to the right people. But I'm going to let you know right now, that's the prophecy here, okay? That's the thing that you get at the end. And if you're in this reading, then this entire reading is for you. I don't care. It doesn't matter when it came to you. It's timeless. This is your reading. Please let me know that it made it to the right people. I have a very important collective that watches me, so I definitely want to make sure these messages are getting out to the right people. So you're about to see fruit from something you almost gave up on, honestly. For some, it will be a first sign. For some, it will be a major breakthrough. For some, it will be emotional confirmation. For some, it will be physical opportunity. For some, it will be recognition. And for some, it will be a new chapter that makes the old pain feel less powerful. But either way, the message is the harvest begins, right? It's already here. And just because you can't see all of the roots growing underneath the ground and in your network does not mean that things aren't shifting and moving for you. So, with all of these coming out together in the bottom of the deck and with the combos of the other cards, it ultimately has a hidden blessing in the cards. The hidden blessing is that more is working in your favor than you realize, with the Seven of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ten of Pentacles all on the board, spread out, right? With Justice, the World, and Temperance here, it shows that you're not really giving it the full attention that it deserves. What's happening for you? There are people being moved. There are things being arranged that you can't see. There are conversations happening. There are decisions being made. There are doors opening. There are energies clearing. There are delays turning into timing. And there are losses turning into protection. There are disappointments turning into redirection. Trust me. There are lessons turning into wisdom. And there are seeds that you forgot you planted that still remember your name. I want you to really think about what I just said there. And that is the part I really want someone here to hear. Some of your past effort is about to come back around as present reward. Do you hear me? Something you did before. something you prayed about before, something you attempted before, something you invested in before, something you learned before, something you released before, something you stayed faithful to before. It's not gone. It's cycling back in a higher form. And this time, you are more ready. Just know that. Accept what's coming to you. You're aligned. You're in your receiving energy. I love you so, so much. I just feel your energy and I just send you so much light and love at this time. If any of you are uncertain, over exhausted, overthinking, overwhelmed, please release off fear, doubt, overthinking, overwhelm, just all of it. It has no place in your life anymore. My beloved, beautiful soul, I need you to understand something. Sometimes the payoff does not arrive when you want it, because the payoff is not just about getting what you asked for. It's about becoming someone who can keep what you asked for. And that is what has been happening here. You've been becoming. You've been maturing. You've been strengthening. You've been clearing. And you've been learning what is not love. You have been learning what is not alignment. You've been learning what is not peace. And you've been learning what is not respect as well. Which means you've been learning what is not your burden to carry. And now, because of that, the harvest can meet you differently. This is not the old you begging life to give you a sign. This is the new you standing in the field realizing the seeds are all finally rising. And yes, maybe it took longer than you wanted. Maybe it hurt more than you expected. Maybe you had to let go of people, places, patterns, and versions of yourself that you thought would be part of the final picture. And that's okay. But the reward coming in now is aligned with who you are becoming. And that is irreplaceable. Not who you had to leave behind. That's why the payoff feels so sacred. It's not just a blessing. It is a match. For the ones who are tired, this part is especially for you. You're not weak because you're tired. You're not ungrateful because you're tired. You're not failing because you need rest. You have carried a lot. Some of you need to hear anyone acknowledge that. You've processed a lot. You've survived a lot. And for a lot of you, you've survived more than anybody else could. You've been asked to trust through seasons where you could not see the full staircase, and yet you are still here. That means something. But now the message is not keep pushing until you break. The message is stay open enough to receive what your effort has already called in. You don't have to chase the harvest. You do have to be awake enough to recognize it. So rest, but do not quit. Pause, but do not abandon yourself. Slow down, but do not declare defeat, because this is the part of the story where the field starts answering you. In love, this reading says your effort is about to pay off through emotional clarity. And this is a hard reading to read in love because we don't have a whole lot of cups here, but every reading can be adjusted to be whatever the directive you need it to be is, but you got to read the cards in the right way to get the right answer, right? So I'm going to let you know what these cards mean in love. Well, it means for some of you, the payoff is not necessarily a specific person coming back exactly how you imagine. The payoff may be that you finally know your worth. Right? 6 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Justice, and Temperance energy. The payoff may be that you no longer need to chase someone's inconsistent energy. 9 of Wands energy. The payoff may be that you attract someone healthier because you finally stopped negotiating with emotional vulnerability. At the end of the day, the payoff may be that someone realizes what they lost at the end of the day, right? The world energy, the world justice. So the payoff could also be a new connection that feels peaceful instead of confusing. But the strongest message in love is this: your healing is not going unpaid. That's the best way I can say it. That's the way I hear Spirit saying it. Your healing is not going unpaid. Every time you chose not to repeat an old cycle, you changed your romantic future. Every time you refused to beg for basic respect, you changed your romantic future. Every time you chose self-love over obsession, you changed your romantic future. And every time you let go of someone who could not meet you, you made room for someone who can. So in love, the harvest is emotional maturity, better discernment, deeper self-worth, and a connection that does not require you to lose choose yourself to be loved. For money, this is an easier read because it's spread out with pinnacles. So this says your consistency is about to matter. We already know that from the reading. Something you've been building, learning, creating, offering, posting, practicing, developing, or preparing is beginning to gain traction. For some, this could be a financial opportunity. For some, it is recognition. For some, it is a new role. For some, it is a creative breakthrough. For some, it is finally understanding how to position your gift and realize that you are the gift. And for some, it is your work being seen by the right person. And for some, it is the moment where the skill you've been developing starts becoming valuable in the physical world. But the message is, do not despise small beginnings. The first result may not be the final result. The first client may not be the full business. The first yes may not be the entire dream. And the first opportunity may not be the whole empire. And the first payment may not be the full abundance. But it is proof of movement, right? And proof matters, doesn't it? Because once the seed breaks soil, you no longer have to wonder whether anything is growing to you. You know it is alive. So in work and purpose, this reading says, keep showing up, your visibility is increasing, your confidence is increasing, and your value is becoming clear. And what once felt like effort without return is beginning to turn into momentum. For those who are on the spiritual path and aren't really doing finances and obviously aren't looking for a relationship or looking for love guidance at all, spiritually these cards speak a different message, but one that still hangs in the balance of the others, right? Spiritually, this reading says you're being rewarded for obedience, faith, and alignment. Not obedience in a fear-based way. Obedience as in you listen when your spirit told you to move differently. You listened when your body said this is no longer safe for my peace. You listened when your intuition said stop forcing this. You listened when the Most High told you to prepare. And you listen when your guides nudge you to release, create, speak, rest, heal, forgive, walk away, or begin again. Whatever it was. It could be any or all of those things. Okay? And even when you did not understand the full picture, you kept taking the next aligned step. That is one of the most important parts of this entire reading. So if you're still in this reading, you make sure that you put in the comments, I stayed until the end, because I need to know that it's making it to the right people, or I heard it all. That is faith, right? When you really, really, really didn't understand that full picture, and you kept going, you just kept taking the next aligned step, the next practical thing, that was faith. And faith has a harvest. I'm going to let you know now. This reading says the spiritual work is becoming physical evidence. The inner shift is becoming outer movement. The prayers are becoming pathways. The healing is becoming new choices. The boundaries are becoming protection. The discipline is becoming opportunity. The surrender is becoming peace, and the patience is becoming proof. Right now, what the collective needs to do are first recognize the signs of harvest without minimizing them. Don't say that's too small to matter. Small signs matter. Small openings matter. Small shifts matter. And Spirit is saying small steps matter. A sprout is not a tree yet, but it is proof that the seed is alive. Second, stay consistent. Do not stop watering the field because the first sprout appears. This is where you keep going with more confidence, not less discipline. The reward is beginning, but it still needs care. Third, receive without guilt. So I'm hearing some of you are so used to working, surviving, proving, and pushing that receiving feels uncomfortable for you. Okay. But this is part of your healing, you guys. So there's a deep message here for being compassionate with yourself, understanding while you're recalibrating into peace and into this new self-worth, self-love, self-care, self-respect, and self-discipline. Self-authorship is truly what's coming through. And so be patient with yourself as you shift into that full identity, right? That's an identity shift. They're saying that's an identity shift. Like, see it for what it is. Some of you are just used to all of that, but this is part of your healing. Let yourself receive support. Let yourself receive love. Let yourself receive money. Let yourself receive recognition. Let yourself receive peace. Let yourself receive the fruit of your own effort. You're not stealing from anyone by being blessed. You're not selfish for being rewarded. You're not arrogant for acknowledging that you worked hard. You are allowed to say, I earned this. I prayed for this. I breathed into this. I manifested this. I grew for this. I'm ready to receive this. I attracted this. I aligned with this, right? So that means don't quit right before the harvest. Don't confuse delay with denial. Don't reject the first sign because it's not the full outcome yet. Don't let old disappointment tell you the new blessing is unsafe. Don't shrink when recognition arrives. Don't underplay your effort. Don't apologize for finally receiving. And don't go backward to old chaos because peace feels unfamiliar. Don't sabotage what you asked for because it requires a new version of you. And most importantly, do not call yourself unlucky when you are actually in transition. Because a fun fact is, luck and miracles are not the same thing. Miracles are things going in your favor against all odds, especially resulting in you bypassing fatality. That's a miracle. Luck is you doing the right thing at the right time. That's luck, okay? So the more that you do the right thing, well, guess what? The more lucky you're gonna look because it's just gonna start syncing up with the right time, right? So that's what lucky people, that's ultimately, that's what a lucky person is. I'm just gonna let you know. So stop feeling like you're unlucky, okay? You can create your own luck if that's what you want. At the end of the day, I say blessed, right? And this is not the end of the story. This is the harvest beginning. That's the most powerful message coming through. If you feel called to and you're still here, you can repeat these affirmations after me and let them seep into your being, or just listen to them and absorb them quietly. My effort was not wasted. My patience is producing results. The seeds I planted in faith are beginning to rise. I am ready to receive the harvest of my healing, discipline, and devotion. I do not quit at the edge of breakthrough. I recognize small signs as sacred confirmation. I see challenges in my life as guiding spiritual lessons. I allow blessings to arrive without guilt, fear, or self-sabotage. What is aligned with me can find me. What is meant for me does not require me to abandon myself. I am becoming the version of me who can hold the blessing. The harvest begins now. Beloved, beautiful soul, this is a beautiful reading. I'm just like over here. Can't stop smiling because this is the part where the story starts giving something back. And that just feels so good. This is the part where the viewer, where we're the collective, right? As a whole, we get to see that our patience finally paid off. We get to finally receive some kind of confirmation. This is the part where the person who kept going realizes they were not foolish for believing. This is the part where the work begins to show. And no, the full harvest may not arrive all at once for everyone, but something is beginning. Something is moving. Something is answering. Something is rising. Something is becoming visible. So when the first sign appears, don't dismiss it. Bless it. Welcome it. Acknowledge it. Thank the Most High for it. And keep going. Because this is not just a reward. This is a reminder. A reminder that the seed remembered what it was created to become. And a reminder that the soil was not empty. A reminder that delay did not mean death. And a reminder that your effort had spiritual weight. Also, a reminder that what is planted in faith, watered with discipline, protected by boundaries, and surrendered to divine timing can still rise. So, if you needed confirmation today, here it is. Yes, it was worth it. Yes, your effort mattered. Yes, the harvest is beginning, and yes, your effort is about to pay off. If this message found you in divine timing, take a moment to breathe and receive it. You can comment below. The harvest begins. Or like I said, if you're here in the end, please comment that I stayed until the end or I heard it all so that I know the message found the one that it was truly meant to. And if this reading resonated, make sure you're here for part 5, because part 5 is where we look at what this harvest leads to next. Part 4 says your effort is about to pay off. Well, part 5 will reveal what this payoff is preparing you to step into next. I will definitely be tapping into that energy. And until then, protect your peace and protect your honor and honor your effort while you watch for the signs. And remember, the harvest does not forget the hands that planted it. As always, I send you all my light, my love, and my blessings. And of course, I will see you in my next reading.